Welcome to the Collective RX, a wellness and personal development podcast for healthcare professionals who are ready to create a fulfilling personal and professional life. I'm your host, Julie Doan, pharmacist and certified life coach. Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Collective RX podcast. This is a space for pharmacists and healthcare professionals to cultivate self-discovery and create a fulfilling life on their own terms instead of following someone else's guidelines. My name is Julie Doan, and I'm your host. So this first episode is meant to share briefly on who I am, how this podcast came to life, and also what you can expect from it. So, if I begin with introducing myself, I like to say that I'm a multi-passionate pharmacist as well as a certified life and health coach. I graduated from my pharmacy master's degree in 2011 and practiced there for the first 7.5 years in a hospital, specializing in hemodialysis and later becoming the clinical project manager for the implementation of a computerized physician order entry system at my center. In 2019, I switched to a part-time pharmacist position at a telepharmacy company that serves hospitals around Canada, which is where I still work to this day. I currently practice in Ontario and New Brunswick, and I live in Montreal, Quebec. As for how I became a life and health coach, I'd have to save the full story for another episode. However, the short version is that around 2016, I was in deep need for a change. I was craving for something more in my career and wanted to impact people's health in a different way beyond medication. Because as much as I believe in modern medicine, I also saw its limitations when it came to chronic conditions associated with lifestyle habits and also the lack of support our current structures have when it comes to mental health. This, along with my own health issues that I was experiencing, which I'll talk about in another episode, eventually brought me to become a certified health coach in 2018 and later a certified life coach and meditation teacher. I began my health coaching practice in 2019 and specialize in helping people reduce their need in medication through lifestyle habits such as nutrition, stress management, movement, and sleep optimization. I mainly help women with metabolic syndrome and with conditions related to the menstrual cycle such as PCOS, irregular cycles, and painful periods. Now, as to how this idea for a podcast came to life, it was after joining a business mentorship group in 2020. I had joined to learn how to grow my online practice, and in this group, there was a notary who shared with us a project she was working on with her friend who is a lawyer. Together, they created a wellness program for notaries and lawyers, and one thing that stood out for me was that they also got it accredited by their professional orders for continuing education hours. And I find this outstanding because it shows that professional orders are finally recognizing mental well-being as something to invest in, which then got me thinking, hey, I could create something similar, but for healthcare professionals. And that was such an exciting thought. That being said, though, as I had recently started my health coaching practice and I knew that I'm most successful when I focused on one thing at the time, I put the idea of wellness for healthcare professionals on the back burner. And while it was hard because I was really excited by the idea, I also trusted that when the timing was right, I would pursue this project. Now fast forward to 2023. My health coaching practice is now well established. I have supported over 200 women with their physical and mental health. And now I feel ready to create something of value for my healthcare colleagues. And that is how the Collective RX podcast was born. Now, if you're wondering what the Collective RX means or represents, it firstly refers to the term collective prescription, or in French we say ordonnance collective. I'm going to assume that most of you are familiar with this medical term. Secondly, a collective often represents a group with a common interest. And in my mind, I see a collective as a community or a safe space. And my intention is to create a community of healthcare professionals that are thriving both in their personal and professional lives, and a place where we can have deeper conversations without judgment. The way I see it is that this community is for the healthcare professionals who, after years of academia and giving to others, is craving to focus on themselves and what they want. This is for the healthcare professional who knows that there's more to their current life and the same old routine and want more for themselves, who see themselves as perhaps unconventional and just knew that they never quite fit in the quote-unquote healthcare professional stereotype. It's for those who are ready to step outside of the box and out of their comfort zone and who are willing to be different. Those who have several interests that have nothing to do with their profession and who are looking to finally pursue them. It's for those who are tired of conversations revolving around work, patient cases, and who are longing for more meaningful exchanges. It's for those who are ready to leave behind the daily overwhelm and stress and seek new perspectives to life, who want to feel differently and see things differently without having to overhaul their entire life. It's for those who are done with being so hard on themselves and are ready to cultivate self-kindness and self-compassion. It's for those who want to create a life they're excited to wake up to and who want to be proud of who they're becoming. So, if any of this resonates with you, that is amazing, and it also means that you're in the right place, my friend. As for what you can expect from this podcast, it will touch on various topics that revolve around personal development and mental wellness. And there's going to be a mix of short solo episodes where I share insights, lessons, or inquiries for self-reflection. And it's going to be based on my experience as a pharmacist, which I know will also be relatable to other healthcare professionals, even if our circumstances are slightly different, as well as based on my personal development journey, along with my years of coaching people and helping them reach their goals. There's also going to be longer episodes where I have discussions with other healthcare professionals. And we'll be touching on different topics, but a few that come to mind are ways to build stress resiliency, self-care, self-compassion, how to create more joy and meaning in your life, mindfulness practices, going after new goals, and much more. To be clear, the goal of the podcast isn't to tell you what to do or give you a step-by-step plan on how to create a fulfilling life, because we just don't do cookie-cutter approaches here. Instead, the goal is to inspire you, show you what's possible, and help you determine for yourself what it means to live well. The tone of this podcast is meant to be conversational, as if we're just having a coffee date and simply talking candidly about life and about what lights us up. Most of the episodes will be in English. However, on occasion, there will also be French episodes, as some of the guests will be from Quebec, the province I live in. So that is what I have in mind for the Collective RX podcast. And I'm just so thrilled to finally bring this to life after 3 years of incubating and marinating in my mind. And I'm excited to share this journey with you. With that said, I have prepared a lineup of episodes for this first season of the Collective RX podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode. So speak to you soon, and bye for now.